what I need to do is machine the end of the lead screw square. I'm not quite sure what's happened with it. That's actually been cut off with a grinder. I know the machine had been badly abused. So I put some thin aluminium foil around it just so we don't damage anything. And all I'll do, I'll square the end up, centre drill it. And what I'll do, I'll turn probably a couple of threads off so I can measure the core diameter of the shaft. That'll give us a size to bore the hole to in the bush before we cut the screw thread. You can see there how the end of the shaft's damaged. All I want to do is take the thread off. Right, so that's removed the thread, and what I'm left with now, that's the core diameter, which will be the size of the hole plus 10 thou. I'll probably use a fine file just to dress that. A little bit of thread up there. Centre drill in the end. Very decent material, this. I've cut the piece of bronze bar in two. I'm going to make two nuts. I've got 2 chances of getting it right. One important thing is when I put the barrel in the chuck, I'm making sure there's a gap on this side of it so I can see when the screw cutting tool comes through. I'm going to face this off, centre drill it, then drill a hole in. The hole size needs to be 0.815 of an inch. That's the root diameter for the thread. Try a little bit of angle loop on it, see what sort of difference that makes. There we go, a nice big drill now, 3/4 drill. Slow things down quite a lot. Putting a decent finish in. The material is very terry, just like machine copper. This will be its last cut. This stuff certainly helps it cut. Very nice finish in there. Right, I've had a bit of play without the camera running, and I've actually managed to cut the thread in a piece of aluminium just to show me settings are right. Quite a decent job of it. So now I know what size to bore the hole. I know the tool will cut the thread. It's a nice tight fitting thread. Right, I've bored the nut out to be 1/10 thou bigger than the root of the thread. That's the lead screw. We'll turn a little bit of thread off and that goes in there, and it's got 5 thou clearance each side. Now we need to set up the compound slide and the tool to the right angle to cut the thread. There's a lot of controversy about setting compound slides at various angles. I'll show you the way I do it. First thing we'll do is we'll get our screw cutting tool and we'll set it to centre height. I use a tailstock centre as a gauge to line up the tip of the tool. As I've said before, the tool needs to be on centre height. You can see that's too high. I'll drop it down. And that is dead on centre height. Right, this is the tool I'm going to use. It's actually a commercial ACME insert that's been brazed into a bit of key steel. This one is actually 8 TPI and I've ground it down to 10 TPI. The angles are both the same. It's 29-degree tool. It's the width of the tip of the tool that varies. So I've ground this one down to cut the 10 TPI thread. These are the tips I use. That's an 8, a 6 and a 4, 8, 6 and a 4. Unfortunately you didn't have a 10. But all I do, I cut them in half because they're double sided. I've got an edge on there as well. Cut them in half and I just braze them in to the end of a bit of key steel to make an internal threading tool. I have got a tool that holds them to do external threads. Right, so we've got our tool set dead on centre height. Tool post locked off so it can't move. Next thing is we need the compound slide setting to half the angle of the thread. Your thread's 29 degrees, so you set this 14 and a half degrees. It's set to 27 and a half at the minute for cutting whipware threads. Graduations on there. I'll get a close up of that and we'll move this to 14 degrees. Okay, you can see the graduations. We want 14 and a half, so that's 10, that's 15. That's 15. That's 14 there. There's a simple way to quickly check you've got the angle right on there. The angle the tool makes, if you put a straight edge on the angle of the tool there, the gap down the side of the cross slide is even. That means that is set at the same angle as that. That's 29 degrees, that's set at 14 and a half, half the tool. The idea is you put the feed on with the compound slide so it feeds in and that way, so you're only cutting on the back corner of the tool, and the last couple of passes you cut full depth on the cross slide. I'm sure it'll all become apparent once we make a start. Right, so as I said, the cut gets put on with a compound slide. Straight away I can see I've got a problem. The compound slide handle is hitting the hand wheel on the cross slide. I think what I'll do, I'll take this off and then just use a spanner on there to put the feed on with. Otherwise it means putting it all the way across there and it'll not be very good. This is definitely the way to do it. We'll take that hand wheel off and it's out the road. This needs doing anyway because the chrome's starting to come off it and wants polishing up. That should just be a little tapered pin in there, I think. days. Where's that bastard gone? Right hand just pulls off. Oh, little tapered pin, where are you? You little shit. Right, the method is we'll touch our tool off, which is there, zero our cross slide. I'll zero the DRO as well, just so we've got it. Turn it in and then wind it in till it's out the back of the job. The tools come through. That goes back to zero. We've zeroed our compound slide, so we'll put our cut on the compound slide, power it out, cuts the thread, turn it back in, back through again, back to zero, cut on, and we'll go on like that until we've got the thread to the required depth. We can't disengage the lathe feed screw at any time during the thread cutting process, as it is a metallic lathe with a conversion gear on. It's got a thread indicator, but if I drop it out of mesh, you won't pick the thread up again. The easiest, simplest way is to leave the feed screw engaged. That's one thing less to worry about. Luckily I can reverse the lathe. The lathe's also got a clutch on, which will make life a lot easier. We'll set the box up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. You bastard. Right. Both these go that way. They don't, they both go that way. And the right hand one goes across. That way, like that. We've still got the same change wheels in the back, as nobody's been in there. Right, let's make sure all right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left, left, that way. Okay. I'll put the lathe in the slowest gear I've got. Which is that one. Right, so I'm going to touch the tool off. Which is there. Zero the cross slide. Zero the DRO as well. Compound slide also to zero. Turn in the cross slide so we've got clearance. Back it out of the job. Right, engage the drive for the lead screw, that's out there. Make sure the carriage is going the right way. I've got it in the middle of nowhere. Right, it is, it's coming out towards us, that's going to cut my left hand thread. Right. Wind the tool through. I can see the tool out the back of the job. Cross slide out to zero. Checking on my DRO, it's at zero. Then we need to put a cut on. The cut goes on with a compound slide. Put 0.2 mil on, so it's going to leave a good mark. Right, so all ready to go, everything's set up. Start the lathe up. Engage our feed nut.